Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 10 of this, the 2020-2021 Premier League season. Now before we get on with week 10, let's have a quick look back at how we all got on in week 9.
So last week had a pretty average week. I had 7 points with one perfect result, that being Chelsea to beat Newcastle 2-0.
And I actually did better than normal, Nathan. I actually came away with 9 points this week. 2 perfect scores with the Chelsea away victory over Newcastle and the West Ham away victory against the Blaze, Sheffield United. Representing the viewers last week was George Sunderland, and George came away with a magnificent score of 12 points. 3 perfect scores: Chelsea away at Newcastle, West Ham away at Sheffield United, and the Wolves Southampton 1-1 draw. Now, top scorer of the week for week 9 was Francis Bellardi, and Francis came away with a magnificent score of 13 points, 3 perfect scores, and he's actually crept up to 6th position in the overall table, which is now on the screen. Nathan, you find yourselves, I think you've gone up slightly as well. You're up to 18th position with 55 points, and I'm up to 23rd position on 53 points. Top of the leaderboard this week, Mahmoud Conte, there on 68 points, followed closely by David Redgriff. So if we just slowly move down the table, you may be able to spot yourself in amongst everyone else. Give a couple of little shout outs as we go. St Benedict there on 41 points, Cozza on 40 points, Owen O Foster on 35 points. Michelle Tesgate on 16 points, all the way down to 185th there, Elite Football Gamer, who I think played for the first time last week. But that is enough of the summary for week 9. Let's move on and make some predictions for week 10.
Okay, so first up we have the Friday night fixture at 8 o'clock on Amazon Prime, surprisingly.
Amazon, wow.
Between Palace and Newcastle. Now, putting Joe Linton up front on his own, that lineup did not seem as if they wanted to win. Not much encouragement there from Newcastle against Chelsea, of course, last week.
Where was Andy Carroll?
Yeah, where was Andy Carroll? Maybe he would have done something. But Crystal Palace surprisingly losing to Burnley at home. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Probably the international break boost for Burnley, even though, which has taken them out of the relegation places actually. We'll get onto them later. But Palace, I don't know. If they continue to put Joe Linton up front on his own and play the same team that they did with Chelsea, where they just don't look like as if they're going to win, then I got to go for a Palace win here. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory. Palace are going to bounce back, so yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, last weekend, Nathan, I think they were missing Wilson up front. Newcastle, Crystal Palace surprisingly losing 1-0 away against Burnley. However, Zaha out with the demonetised virus, as we all know. Tough one to call this one. I know that Roy Hodgson even has got a very good record against Steve Bruce. I think in all his matches he's only ever lost against Steve Bruce once. It's going to be a tight match. Newcastle, okay, they're languishing at the moment in 15th position. Perhaps they seem to think they're a little bit higher than that, but yeah, tough one to call this one. But I think going forward at home at Selhurst Park, even though there's no fans there, I think the Palace, the Eagles, are going to sneak this one through 2-1. Same scoreline as you, Nathan. Next up, we've got the first of the Saturday fixtures, and this takes place at 12:30 lunchtime on BT. We've got Brighton at home against Liverpool. Now, last week, pretty much everyone and his dog was tipping Leicester to actually go to Anfield and win, and I think that's what the downfall was. Everyone was
too much
expectation on Leicester. They didn't turn up. Mentally, they weren't there. They were all over the place. They were really poor. The Foxes. And Liverpool, okay, bit of a depleted squad or team, but they still got that excellent strength and depth. The people who came in really stepped up to the plate, and they absolutely demolished Leicester in that fixture. In this one, they're travelling to Brighton. They will be a tough nut to crack. However, they're flattering to deceive Brighton. Okay, they did gain that excellent victory away against Aston Villa last weekend. However, Ross Barkley going off early, that helped their cause. But in this fixture, I think Liverpool, with players coming back into the team now, I think they're going to be too strong for the Seagulls on the South Coast, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 away victory to the Reds.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be too strong as well. Even with the defence, Gomez and Van Dijk are out for the season. Going forward as well, you've got the likes of Jota scoring goals. You've still got Mane. They're absolutely superb.
And Salah will be back from the demonetised virus as well.
Salah will be back indeed. Brighton did win against Aston Villa, quite a shock there, but looking at their form recently now, absolutely no way. They're going to get destroyed 4-1. Next up, we've got Man City versus Burnley. That's 3 o'clock on BT. Now, Man City, last time they played each other, 5-0 to Man City. Not a surprise there. On and off form. Man City barely scoring more than 1 goal. I mean, I said it in the Dugout podcast the other day, last night. In fact, I have, and make sure you go check that out in the description below. I was saying there's just not enough leadership at the back or in midfield for Man City. No key players, no consistency there.
Not scoring goals.
That's the reason why as well. And letting in goals as well. Defence is just not good, especially with that victory or that loss against Tottenham last week, where they had 80% possession or something ridiculous.
I don't think it was that high, but
something like that. But it just goes to show us. I say it again: possession means absolutely nothing in football when it comes to how well a team has played. But for this one, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as big as the 5-0 victory against Burnley that people would expect from last time. But Pep is going to want them to bounce back, and with the way that Burnley have been playing, they really fluked a victory last time around. Even though they played alright, but no one saw it coming. But I don't know, I'm going to go for 3-0 in this one, play it safe.
3-0, wow, yeah. Manchester City coming up against Burnley, as you said, Nathan. They absolutely hammered Burnley last season, 5-0 this season. I think it's going to be a lot closer because, as you said, Manchester City are having problems scoring goals. Aguero continuously getting injuries, etc. Jesus not really taking over the mantle too much there. Pep, I think they've played, and Sean Dyche, they've played each other 11 times. Pep has won 10 of those fixtures and drawing the other one, so a very good record. So it looks like we are going to get a Manchester City victory in this one. Shouldn't be as much as they did last year, that 5-0 win. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 home victory in this one. Man City are going to want to bounce back from that Tottenham reverse as well, particularly as Man City find themselves unusually after 8 games in 13th position. Next up at 5:30 on Saturday, tea time on Sky Live. This is on Sky. We've got Everton at home against Leeds. Now, the last time Leeds actually won at Goodison Park in the league was way back in 1991. Wow. So form-wise as well, Everton looking good. Leeds, although they do, they got plenty of energy. I think they've only won once now in their last fixtures.
Once in the last
they have.
Yeah.
Everton having a strong start to the season, but they are in 6th position at the moment.
Starting to drop.
Yeah, well, they did win last time out.
Yeah.
Of course, beaten Fulham 3-2 in the end, when they really should have cruised to.
They should have destroyed them.
Yeah, it should have cruised, especially with that rear guard of Fulham as well. But they did get the 3 points on the board, and I think Everton should take all 3 points in this fixture. But I'm going to go for a narrow win. I think the Toffees will come out victorious. I'm going for a 2-1 home win.
Interesting. I've actually gone for a 2-1 as well. I just think Everton will have a little bit too much for Leeds. Keep saying it, this is where Leeds start to drop off because they start flying, and then there it goes. I can't see him winning for a while yet. Bielsa has to do something, and they always seem to struggle around Christmas, Leeds, and then have a pick up after. So I think they're going to have a pick up after. They're just going to struggle for a bit, and I can see some players coming in January, so I'm going to go 2-1 as well. Next up, we have a battle of the bottom 2 teams between West Brom and Sheffield United. 2 teams who just can't bag a win at the moment. Sheffield United
won all season between
Haven't
them.
won all season, getting destroyed by absolutely everyone and everything. West Brom have 3 draws to their name, including one against Chelsea. What can we say about that? And Sheffield United played 9, drawn 1, lost 8. Terrible form, but
Ridiculously terrible.
with the way that West Brom have been playing recently, oh boy, am I going to go for a Sheffield United victory.
Wow.
They have been playing well, they just can't seem to get the results or score. And many fans are saying as well for Sheffield United that Ryan Brewster is the next coming of Dominic Solanke with the price they paid for him. So
But he is only young, come on.
he is only young, he's not scoring, he needs time to develop, especially working out in the Premier League, and he's not getting enough service really. So yeah, I'm going to go for a narrow 1-0 Sheffield United victory with Ryan Brewster get his first goal.
I think you've read my mind in this one. West Brom, absolutely terrible. Sheffield United started off the season really poorly. The results haven't really overall reflected the way they've been playing.
But then again, look at the start of the season
I know
they've had.
it is. They've had difficult fixtures as well. But this has got draw written all over it. However, I'm going to stick my neck on the line, and I'm actually going to go for a Blades away win in this one. If they don't win this one, they're down. They're down. They'll win this one 1-0. Next up, we have Southampton at home against Manchester United. This takes place at 2 o'clock on Sunday on Sky, live to the nation and to the world probably. Now, surprisingly, Manchester United have actually recorded 2 wins on the bounce. Okay, they did play West Brom, doomed West Brom, you could say, and prior to that,
But West Brom should have had something out of that game.
they should have, and the penalty, I think they had to retake it.
Disgraceful.
Yeah, but they won. So that's two wins on the bounce for Manchester United. Prior to that, it was that good victory against Everton. So Southampton, okay, they gained a draw against Wolves on Monday evening after going 1-0 up in that fixture, and lucky not to win that one really. Difficult one to call this one really, but I'm going to go for a Saints win just because Manchester United, the way they're playing, the way they look, the sort of energy I pick
or
up.
lack of energy.
Yeah, well, the energy and sort of the vibes I get going around Manchester at the moment, and with Southampton in 5th position playing really well, I'm going to go for a Southampton victory. It has to be noted though, Manchester United unbelievably are above Manchester City and Arsenal, even the way they've been playing in their form, and
But then again,
they've
look
got
at
Ollie in charge, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go for a home victory. I think Man United, the Red Devils, will score, but I'm going to go 2-1 to the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, with Man United, even my left shoe has more tactical knowledge than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Really?
Even he could have managed a team of, I don't know, Barrow and Boston United combined, and then
I think
they'd still be able to
he did
beat.
win stuff though in Norway, so come on.
Norway.
It was Norway.
Yeah, Norway. It was in Norway, let me just add.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you get out-tacticked by the manager of Glenavon, as what we always get onto on the World Football Podcast, remember to check it out in the description below. He has absolutely no hope against a man who knows Southampton well and is able to get his team playing in Ralph Hasenhüttl. So in this one, I'm going to go for an arrow 1-0 Southampton win. Next up, we have a very tasty one between Chelsea and Spurs at 4:30 on Sunday. Now, Chelsea, good 2-0 win against Newcastle, putting them into 3rd position. That's 3 wins on the bounce now, haven't lost in God knows how long, whereas Spurs, superb form. Won their last 4 matches, won 5 or 6.
Last week, of course.
Man City last week, completely amazing. Jose Mourinho is absolutely superb at the moment. I can't split these 2 teams. Last time around, Chelsea won 2-1. Can't split them. 2-2. Desmond's.
So, well, I don't think there's going to be as many goals in this one that people think. Yeah, Tottenham's form at the moment, absolutely fantastic, winning 5 of the last 6. I think they've only conceded 1 goal in their last 4 fixtures as well. Chelsea, after, I think we've already said this in previous videos, after a really shaky defence, they've tightened up at the back as well. Thiago Silva's looking the player that they wanted him to be as well. Chelsea as well, only conceding 1 goal in their last 4 fixtures. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals in this one. Probably now it's going to be a 4-4 thriller, as we say that. But I think they're going to cancel each other out. both defences looking fairly solid, even though attacking wise there's so much talent on, you've got Harry Kane, Son, Bale, Celcio scoring last week, and Timo Werner, Abraham coming into his own, looking really sharp at the moment, and Ziyech. There should be goals in this one. However,
should be entertaining.
There should be. It could end at 4-3, but I am actually going to go for a draw, and I'm going to go 0-0.
Interesting.
Yeah. Next up on Sky at 7:15 in the evening on Sunday, we've got Arsenal at home against Wolves. Now, Arsenal, a few games ago, I thought they were looking pretty good, but last couple of appearances, hapless, absolutely hapless. Coming up against a Wolves team, sort of a little bit stuttery, winning 4 out of their 9 fixtures altogether, but
still good.
Still pretty good. They've only lost once in their last 6, which was away against Leicester.
Also with Wolves as well, they are actually beating the teams that they need to around them. I mean, getting wins over Fulham, Leeds,
well, I think that Palace victory was very good.
Very good. All teams around them and below them, which is essential in this league.
But Arsenal languishing in 12th position, 2 wins out of the last 6 and 3 defeats as well, coupled in with a draw, which was last weekend away against Leeds. But Leeds sorted to sink down the table themselves. So I think Wolves are going to come away with the spoils in this one. Neto netting the goal and saving the skin against the Saints last time out on Monday evening. So I'm going to go for a narrow 1-0 away win to Wolves.
Interestingly, I'm actually going to go for a draw in this one. It is at the Emirates, and I don't know, with Arsenal's inconsistency in getting a draw against Leeds, nothing looked spectacular in there. And with all the games they've been playing recently, difficult ones above them, so I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to go for a 1-1. Next up, we've got Leicester Fulham. Now, Leicester are going to be wanting to bounce back from that atrocious game against Liverpool. Absolutely no heart there. They went out thinking that they were going to win and they were going to walk past them. Brendan Rodgers just didn't drill it into them enough. But they're playing Fulham now. He's got to get into them. Bearing in mind, even though they do have injuries in key areas such as Costan's out, they do have the key players in Vardy and Tielemans still there. And I believe Fofana's still there as well.
I'm just going to check actually on Leicester's injury news.
It's gone down to 5 players now, which is good.
We're recording this on Tuesday, of course, so I'm sure he's actually ruled out Castan. He's 50% on this slight twinge. Hopefully him missing tonight and have a clear week will get him ready for our next game. We have
Ndidi's out as well.
Ndidi, he's ruled out. Pereira,
to go.
He's been out for all season, and Daniel Amati as well.
So certain areas and key players, especially Ndidi in that central defensive midfield role, is key for them. But with the way that Fulham are defending and just can't seem to attack either, I mean, Bobby Reid is sort of carrying that moment.
I think he's got 2 or 3 goals now this season.
Yeah, he's doing very well for himself, and I'd say slightly better than Mitrovic, especially with the way Mitrovic has been missing penalties, and Mr.
Lookman as well.
Mr. Lookman, yes, who should be looking at where he is shooting, let's just say, instead of trying to be the next Sergio Ramos.
Look at what you're doing.
Look at what you're doing, yes. But there's no way Fulham are going to be able to score in this one. Leicester should walk through that atrociousness of the defence, so I'm going to say 2-0 Leicester.
Yeah.
And also, can we say about how incredible Leicester's planned stadium expansion looks? Beautiful.
Fantastic. Actually, going back to that Chelsea-Spurs match, I think Chelsea in Champions League action on Tuesday evening and Tottenham on Thursday evening.
Going to be tired out
in the European. That's right, and they're playing on Sunday. So I think we're probably going to have a Mourinho masterclass of parking the bus. He won't want to lose that match against Chelsea. He'd rather take a 0-0 draw, 1-1 draw, than go in there and losing like 6-5 something like that. But back to Leicester Fulham. Brendan Rodgers, he's going to be spanking them or really getting into them this week. I think they're actually in Europa League action themselves on Thursday as well. But that should be fine because they're playing on Monday. They should have plenty of rest. They should have the team as well to beat this poor Fulham side. It is at home at Leicester, so even though Fulham looking a little bit better than they did at the start of the season, even though they can't win.
Yeah.
Well, they did. They have won actually once in their last 6 matches. Which who was it against? It was against West Brom.
Yeah.
So Leicester City for me 3-0.
Interesting.
And the last fixture of the weekend, which takes place at 8 o'clock on Monday evening, we've got West Ham against Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa going through a bit of a tricky spell,
Patchy form,
losing 3 of their last 4 fixtures. In the last fixture against Brighton, they lost, as we've already said. Barkley going off early, and he's probably going to be out. I think it's a hamstring injury for his next at least 2 fixtures.
Concerning in their
West Ham, Nathan. West Ham with their defence, very good at the moment. Haven't conceded in the last 2 games anyway. Prior to that, they did lose away against Liverpool, and prior to that it was a draw at home against Man City. But defensively looking fairly solid. Aston Villa, Grealish, the likes of McGinn, you could say, should step in, but will they be able to create enough for Ollie Watkins, etc.? But I think West Ham are going to have too much for them. Looking at them last week, they looked very good. They find themselves in 8th position as well, even though that victory was against Sheffield United. They did grind it out. So I'm going to go for a home win in this one, and I'm going to go for as they say in America, a 2-0 shutout, 2-0 to West Ham.
Interesting. I actually completely disagree with you here. I think Villa should have this one in the bag, even though they haven't been beating teams around them recently, and they really need to. I don't know. I just think that low scoring West Ham coming up against sort of high scoring Villa, you could say.
No, on their day.
On their day, I think it is going to be their day as well. I think they're just going to pierce through the West Ham defence, and they might be able to show out of the back. Losing Ross Barkley is going to be massive for them going forward, especially. But I don't know. I have a feeling about Villa with this one. It's going to be close, but 2-1.
Yeah, and of course Antonio may be back for West Ham.
Antonio may be back, yeah.
So that concludes our predictions for Week 10 of this, the 2020-2021 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. You want to play along at home and join us in our league, then please leave your predictions as a comment, and you could get a shout out. Anybody can get a shout out next week if you're the top scorer. And on Friday night I'm going to be picking somebody at random. It's going to be early on Friday evening, even maybe in the afternoon, Nathan. You'll be representing the viewers. But before we go, Nathan, is there anything you'd like to add?
Search my channel, link in the description below. 2 watch alongs every week, as you know, especially with the football in the Championship coming thick and fast. Subscribe, guys.
Wednesday evening and Saturday, of course.
Wednesday and Saturday, yes.
But as this one will probably go out, I don't know, early hours Thursday.
Yeah, I can't shout out the Wednesday one, so.
Well, you can for next Wednesday. Perhaps.
Well, yeah, if Cardiff are playing, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Thanks for Nathan for joining me again this afternoon, as we're actually recording this in the afternoon, not in the evening.
Change, yeah.
A little bit of a change there, but going forward we'll be back to the evening slot. But for now, we'll bid you farewell, and we'll see you in the next video.
Just goes.